All right. So before we get into this, I'm going to give you guys a preview of what's going to happen, okay? So a lot of the young people behind me went on mission trips and camp this summer. And as a thank you and as a witness, testimony, so to speak, we wanted them to give them an opportunity to respond to what God has been doing in their lives this summer. We even have a young man who's running sound. If he would like to come up, he's welcome to, but that's a no. That's a no. I would like to witness on him, though. He did really well on his mission trip. And that was Corbett. He did amazing, and he was awesome the whole time. Not a little bit, like a lot. Yeah? Okay. So we'll let him run sound, but to give you guys an idea of what took place, just this little snapshot, we've got a little video for you, and then we'll open it up for the kids to speak. Now's the time, Corbett. About the technical difficulties, we'll be right with you. All right, we'll just watch the slideshow. I don't think we're gonna get music out of this one. So I guess for those at home, we'll just go through and talk about it. Do a play-by-play, yeah. Did it start over? It's weird. It didn't start over. It's talking. Okay, yeah, it did. Doesn't seem to be. Video's running a little bit slow this morning, but on the way up there, we took a little detour to Baylor campus. Not as a hint or anything, it was a good place for the kids to take lunch and walk around, so they got to see a different place and meet the mascots. What's up? We did not include the squirrel pictures. Corbett took a lot of good squirrel pictures, but I didn't get any of them. This is the place we stayed at. This is Epiphany United Methodist Church. We got to stay there all week. They had showers, a gym, and classrooms that we could stay in. This is Indiana. I told you guys we went to Kentucky, but we got to walk across a bridge that went to a whole different state. So yes, we went to a bonus state, and that was all the kids that were there. And we got to take some selfies, and at one point it was me, Robbie, and a bunch of teenagers somehow, because we're the only ones that made it over the bridge. And this was the food kitchen that we got to serve at, and it was awesome. Elena did a good job. That's Elena with the hairnet. And this was a park that we took lunch. You may recognize most of the kids. My nephew Robert in the back, and the buckyball, who was the unsung hero of the mission trip. We also went to the Kentucky Derby. That's Catherine and Ryan, and we had to wear masks for much of our trip because Louisville was pretty still into the mask wearing at that point. That was us cleaning up the yard at a rehab center. We were the first volunteers outside of their normal people that they allowed to do so. And that was overgrown with weeds before we touched it. So that's them showing off at the end of that. More pictures of that, but they hadn't allowed any other volunteers, and after that they said they would continue asking YouthWorks, which was the company that we went to, and that was a solo of Corbett because he did a really great job at the food distribution, and that's all of us afterward. And we have some photos that are missing. Our other half of the group, I wasn't able to get the photos together in time. You can see some of them on Instagram, but they were able to serve a Salvation Army kids camp, and that's what they did all week. They hung out with kids that were getting free camp, and apparently they exercised them to death. And this is our trip to the Louisville Slugger Museum on our last day in Kentucky. And that's on a giant baseball mitt. Could not take a picture there. And that's Robbie doing his magic at the grill on our last day. And that was our mission trip. We got to spend 9 days, 8 nights doing God's work. And at the end, we had some fellowship, and then we came home. We went to the Panhandle at Camp Nova, which is located at Cedar Canyon Retreat Center, and it is a junior high camp and a high school camp running concurrently. They're happening all at the same time. And so Miss Melanie Mathis was our junior high person, and I was our high school person, and we never saw each other basically all week, but like 10 minutes at a time. It was kind of crazy. And so Camp Nova's been around for about 7 years. Cedar Canyon's been around for 40 or 50 years. People have grown up there, gotten married there, all kinds of crazy stuff. But it's in Happy, Texas. And this is us praying before we headed out on our mission at 5 a.m., if that gives you any context for that. Yep, those smiles are fake, every single one of them. This video was not this slow. Belle did not move this slow, I promise. But really, I think that it was worth the trip to go up there. The kids really enjoyed it. It was an old camp from my youth days. Not even the same people, but it was a wonderful time, and I'll let them tell you more. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. All right, we're just gonna, I think we're gonna skip it. We'll skip it. A lot of the photos that I put up there are, we may try to throw it up later, but I'll put it online. A lot of the photos that are up there are up on the Camp Nova Facebook page. And so you can just take a look at them. And our kids popped up a lot because they're awesome. So if y'all want to come up, I'm going to hand over the mic. Sorry, the video was all weird. Here you go. Oh, okay. Okay, so say your first name, and then.
Do I have to use the mic? I mean,
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
You have to be where they see you.
Okay. So what do I talk about? Just the trip?
Talk about what the trip meant to you, and talk about what you're going to do with it.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Troy, and well, this was really my first mission trip with this church. And, you know, for the first time, the first day was pretty awkward. Didn't know many people. First day, got to know everybody. And then the second day, we were still on the road. Slept through most of that. But the ride back was awesome. The scenery, just seeing God's creation throughout that meant a lot. And the trip, I got stuck at the Salvation Army. I wasn't stuck. They worked me to death. The kids were awesome. But I remember, what was her name? Bailey, right? Bailey, sweetest little kid ever. Can y'all keep it down? But yeah, for my first mission trip that I ever went with, all the youth, the adults, really made me feel like a part of this family here, and meant a lot to me. And, for my first mission trip, I had a blast.
Hello, my name is Peyton. I hope you all know me. I would hope so. On the trip, it was a very long ride up and back, but our car ride was absolutely the best. We had an amazing time with Robbie and Monica. But it's okay, we had an amazing time. Up there, when we got to the church, I didn't make many friends with anyone else that was there, any of the other teenagers, but whenever we went to Salvation Army, all the kids were so welcoming, and I loved all of them, made a bunch of little friends. And as he talked about Bailey, she came up to me at one point in time and just started talking to me and told me her whole story about her home life and everything that was going on with her. It kind of broke my heart, but she felt comfortable enough to tell me, and the rest of the week we would read books together and we played together and we had a lot of fun, and I was happy that I could help her smile and make her laugh along with all the other kids. Yeah.
Hello, my name's Lauren. On the mission trip, I was in the other group. These three were all in the same group. My group, Catherine has theirs on her phone. But they're at another camp, I think. Anyway, so on the mission trip, the first day that we were there, we stayed in a place in Arkansas at a church, and on the way back, we stayed in the same church, and they were very nice. They cooked us dinner the night when we were coming back. The first day when we got to Kentucky, we actually went to the wrong church first. We went to, what church did we went to the Catholic church instead of the Methodist church. So that was, that was kind of weird. And then, so we went to the other side of Louisville and we got to the church. And then, so while we were there, they had us all in different groups. I don't even remember the names of the groups. What were the names? Oh, yeah, boxers. So the first day when we went to go work with my group, we went to a soup kitchen. And just being there was very nice. The people were always very happy to see all of us. Even though they didn't know who we were, there were so many smiles and thank yous. That was weird. So that was nice. And then the next day, we went to a thrift store and we sorted a ton of clothes. Some things were thrown at people, but yeah. What happened there? Let's just say the boys were very confused. And then we went back to the soup kitchen. You stop. And while we were there, there was this man that came in with his son. His son was 3, and he was very shy. And at the soup kitchen, they had these cross necklaces to give away to the people. So I gave one to the little boy, and he smiled, and then he started talking, and I was very confused because I didn't know what happened. But he went from being this really shy person that barely wanted to show his head over the table to this person that was coming behind the tables and talking to all of us. So that was very nice. And then on the trip to Camp Nova, there was lots of crying involved, but that was nice. It was fun. Crying. At worship, Catherine. Yes, we cried at worship.
Not just Camp Nova.
Yeah, we cried at the other place too. But my favorite part of Camp Nova was probably the worship services. The band that was there were amazing, and then The two main songs was one of the ones we sang, Fierce. We sang that one earlier, and then the other one was Deep Cries Out, which we did during Vacation Bible School. So those two songs, everybody was singing to. There was a lot of jumping and yelling and dancing and more yelling. But it was awesome. So we did tell Marshall that we want to go back to that same place.
So, my name's Catherine, and for today, my name will also be Ryan, Travis, and Belle. Okay, so I really did have a lot of fun on mission trip and at camp. Mission trip was absolutely amazing. I got to be with the group that was in the Salvation Army summer camp, and it was really hard to know, like Bailey was telling me some stuff too, and it was really hard to get on their level and be able to just talk to them about what was going on. And it was really just beautiful to be able to just be there and them just opening up to us right away. And we got to dance and sing, and we went outside a lot. We got to teach them a lot of new games and stuff, which they were really excited about. And then we got to learn a new dance with them, which was also really fun. And then Belle didn't put it in her thing, I don't think, because I haven't read it yet. But she actually got to be in a piano little thing with the kids, and she got to learn some new stuff that she really enjoyed on the piano. And Mr. Robbie was really impressed with the guy that was doing most of it. He actually has a band, and he's put out a couple albums, which is really cool. We actually listened to one of them on the way home. And then Camp Nova was just amazing. We had so much fun, but worship was really good too. But my favorite part was probably small group, because we got split up into these different small groups, but everyone that was there was in a different small group. So like my small group was different from Lauren's and Blake's and Belle and Noe and Alyssa and Libby. We were all in different little small groups, and that really helped us to be able to get out of our comfort zones and be able to talk to new people and really get to know them. And as far as I know, we're all still in touch with our small groups, which I think is amazing. Okay, so Ryan is next. He said he went and helped the community of Louisville, and they were able to work at a soup kitchen and help the homeless at some different homeless shelters. And he says he wants to thank you guys for that. And then Travis says, we were in a group that did not stay in one place helping the same people. We did multiple things with multiple people. We worked at the soup kitchen, Thrift and Thrive, and the homeless recenter place. Thrift and Thrive is a thrift store that also pairs with a homeless shelter to give the homeless clothes and better things to live life better. The homeless recenter place gives the homeless people classes to get back into the world. My favorite part was working in the soup kitchen because I got to meet and talk to a lot of nice people in Kentucky. And then Ryan says his favorite part was we got to do a lot of different things in the evening with YouthWorks. That's what it is. We got to go to the bridge that goes from Kentucky to Indiana, and that was really cool. We ran the bridge a couple times. And then Belle, she says, well, I felt really good being able to meet new people and getting to help the kids, and making them feel happy. Then for camp, I really enjoyed it. I really didn't want to leave the people there. They were like family, and I felt closer to God, and the camp definitely had an impact on the people who came.
Thank you guys so much. And we also want to thank you guys because without your help, none of this stuff gets to happen. And I want to brag on these guys. On our YouthWorks trip, the other churches that we were with didn't know what they had. They didn't know how to handle us because of the sheer enthusiasm, passion, and joy in which our kids do everything that we do, whether it's working hard or worshiping or they just didn't know what to do. That was awesome. And I constantly had people come and tap at me at camp and say, "Hey, do you know Libby? Do you know Alyssa? Do you know Catherine?" And they would just brag on them to me all the time. And so just a blessing to get to take the kids and do things like this. So thank you.